Well, good afternoon, viewers of Speedgaming. Welcome to Super Metroid 100% Tournament. We have Timmon versus Nikplayer today. They'll be running the 100% category. I will my name is Ring, and I'm commentating with Graf. How are you doing, Graf?
I'm doing really well. I'm really excited to watch this. It's losers round one. Both these runners ran into some rough opponents round one. Timon took a surprise loss actually to Fat Scott 25 um, due to some circumstances. So that's made any potential bracket run from him a lot harder. Meanwhile, looks like Nikplayer was knocked out by Sloters, who is just an extremely all-around solid runner. So both of these runners are going to be fighting for their tournament lives here. There is, I think, roughly like a 2.5 minute difference in PBs. Timon has a 117.08 versus, I believe, Nikplayer's 119.47. There's definitely a lot of variance in this category. I would say the biggest thing that a PB like a low 117 can indicate is that you can expect Timon to be like a bit more consistent as a runner, which can be really helpful in these race situations. But there's so much that can happen in these runs.
Absolutely, we already see things happening to Timmon in series here. Nice time from Nick, and nice time from Timmon or Timmon. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, I've heard it pronounced both ways.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, it's 45 series is about as good as you can hope for in a race, I think.
Yeah, hard to complain about the 45 in a race. So to talk about the route a little bit, if I understand correctly, both Nick and Timon, they will be running standard early croc, which means they will be grabbing grapple beam and trying to milk every single usage out of it. Hopefully, it's a great route. It definitely helps us as commentators because we know exactly who's in the lead and how much at every point.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, that early grapple route does tend to be favored among pretty much all but the top players. Obviously, there are some players who tend to prefer an early ice route for various reasons, whether they think it's more fun or they just feel more comfortable with the tricks in it or whatever. But early croc is generally considered to be a lot safer of a route with fewer sort of boom or bust tricks.
Oh, and we see a interesting strat from Timon. That's a difficult. Oh, okay.
Uh,
I went for a difficult, very difficult morph check strat. That's like that's probably the first strat deviation we saw among the runners, and definitely not the last. Super
mhm.
Metroid, 100% in particular, you have just about an infinite number of ways to shape your own run, and hopefully we can point out some strat differences as they come up.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the really cool things about this category is especially the later in the run that you get, the rooms get so complex that oftentimes it doesn't really make sense to go for the most 100% optimal strat, and it's better to give up 30 frames, even a second, if it's something that you're going to nail every time.
Yeah, consistency is definitely the key in a category as long as 100%. Ooh, so both runners doing stand right side wall jump climb. Timon having some trouble falling sliding behind. Nick is having a strong early game on the other hand.
Hmm.
Okay, nice. Yeah, both players navigate into bombs
Hmm.
on pretty equal pace. You hate to see it.
Oh no.
Oh, that's
Oh,
okay. Well,
yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
some nerfs coming out here for Timon.
yeah, yeah. That was
So,
slightly unorthodox and slightly unfortunate. Well, quite unfortunate. And the
mhm.
Timon is not on full health either, so this will be interesting.
All right, Nikplayer got a good missile spread. Takes a hit there, but not too big of a deal. And unfortunately, Timon just has terrible luck here with the missile drops.
Yeah, you really want to enter Bomb Chorizo with full health there, just because you can somewhat normalize the missile drops from the first family of eggs the
Hmm.
Chorizo spits out. So unfortunate sequence of a chain of occurrences there for Timon.
Yeah, meanwhile, Nikplayer's just, he's been playing really well thus far.
Yeah, the early gaming 100% is one of the it's one of the most played sections. Well,
Hmm.
it's in any since it shows up in any category, but being able to execute these rooms consistently, cleanly is a feat. And Timon does seem to be tripping up here and there. Maybe he can shake off the nerves as time goes on.
Hmm. And I mean, he is only about 10 seconds behind right now. So in a category as long as Hundo, that's nothing major. You know, we could see all that gained back in one room, even
Yeah, even
in some
maybe
of the more treacherous rooms.
like this one, like this one. On the way back, there is a well, we'll point out in a moment, but
Hmm.
one of the more costly tricks is coming up very soon.
Yeah, and both runners had a little bit of trouble with the early Supers deboost. Uh, Health is a little bit rough here, but
Mm.
not unmanageable at all. And now Nikplayer is going to be jumping through this door and going for a pretty tight mock ball. If you miss this, it's a fairly significant time loss.
Oh, he gets it.
Nikplayer nails
Oh,
it though, very nice.
very nice. And Timon's gonna try to do the same. Nice, nice,
Nicely done.
very nice. So as Grab pointed out, health is pretty low for two runners. So they're probably not gonna be doing the KO strat in this Decora pit room. Oh,
I'm, I wonder if Timon meant to have missiles selected there. Sometimes you'll see runners fire a P shot because, as I understand it, it sort of delays the Rio's timing a little bit in its swoop.
and both runners grabbing charge. This room coming up for Nikplayer. Pretty tricky. You want to dodge these. Oh,
Ooh.
okay. So it's common to do that unmorph Kegel through the
Mhm.
hopper out habit, but the health situation for the two runners probably not the best idea in this particular case.
Uh, Timon unfortunately doesn't quite get the bug deboost there.
So this health, I want to point out, is already a bit questionable because ideally what the runners would want to do is they want to do a lag reduction strat for the crate fight. But if you want to do that fight, if you want to use that strat, you want to enter crate with 70 health or
Mhm.
less. So two runners might need to forego that for this particular run. And now they have Spazer, which is one of the best items in the game, honestly. Helps so much with all the strats.
Yeah. One of the interesting deviations you can see in early Croc is when the runners decide to turn off that spacer. You can turn it off earlier on your way up to wrecked ship, and that allows you to X Factor fan tune, but it does notably prevent you from doing robot flush. And if you run into a tricky situation in wrecked ship and you take a couple extra hits, then you're going to have to add in another pause to pop reserves, sparking the gauntlet.
That's an
But
excellent point.
yeah, the X factor on Fantoon is faster though, and a lot of runners find it to be a lot more comfortable and more consistent than a 2-round Doppler. So it's sort of personal decision.
Ooh, Timmon.
Oh.
Right,
Yeah,
we'll
so he
definitely-
can't take a spike deboost hit here. Ooh. So yeah, Timon's drops are he's in health bomb range, unfortunately. So he's not going to get any super drops.
Right. Well, thankfully there is a mini crate, so he can, if he just refill on health, he will be able to recover. And he does nail the quick kill, which is the important part.
Nice. Yeah,
I would
and
want to fight
with, yeah, with
stand up straight
missiles.
with the health.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so he's able to hold on to one super, which means he'll be able to have full supers. He'll just be a bit lower on missiles. So not a huge deal.
And there's a bit of buffering on Nick's screen, but hopefully he nailed the stand up as well. No, not stand up, KQK as well.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some delay on his end.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get his stream back, but it looked like it was just a little bit above 11 seconds for that Varia grab.
I see. And there, as Timmon grabbed the great energy tank, he also got a few small health drops stored in his reserve. I think he has about 20 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So this health in reserve, it's not too essential for the route the runners are running, which is early croc, because usually you shouldn't have too much issues managing your health after wreck ship. You probably don't need to use that much health in your reserve if you ever have to in preparation for the gauntlet spark. But it's always nice to have some health in there just in case you need to do some last minute adjustments.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very possible, if you like accidentally KO one of the spike platforms, that's over 100 energy.
And now the runners are entering Upper Norfair, which I think I hear you, Grab, commonly mention this part as one of the hardest sequence of rooms that won't kill you, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I can't agree more. Upper Norfair in 100% is very tricky. Navigating these rooms normally is already tricky, but then now you have to grab this cathedral missile, and as you can see, dealing with these Garudas, it's no joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Timon was going for a really cool strat there, where you kill the first Garuda with a charge shot, and then run off the platform and down back while firing 2 missiles down to kill the second. It looks really cool and it's super fast, but if you mess up the first Garuda, you can actually lose a lot of time.
Oh, and very nice. We see a King Cac snipe from Timmon. You don't want to. If you can kill that Cac, you want to kill it. was a clean bubble mountain. And you don't want to forget this missile here. Very, very nice. That could be a choke point.
Mm-hmm. With 3 supers, Timon could think about leaving on just 1 farm.
Right. So yeah, for this route, the runners are running, which is early proc. Your super count after your super count right here isn't too important. You don't need to have that many supers because you basically need to ensure that you have one super to access the Crocomire area. But after that, you can basically you can make up for your shortage of supers by using your missiles because you're gonna have plenty of missiles for this run.
Right. Timon did really get a nice 1 farm though. 2 super drops.
And he's gonna jump to get this wave beam, which is a very, very powerful item because according to the dev intended sequence of item pickups, wave beam is a rather late game item. You're supposed to get it after grapple, but you get it now, so it's actually pretty powerful. Nice threat there by Timmon, opening the door and doing a nice ledge grab to get a good door transition.
Yeah, I think Timon was going for a little bomb spread strat there. That helps break some of the blocks easier. It is frame perfect, I'm pretty sure, and it's really tough.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt going for it though, and always a treat when you get it. And now we are heading into one of the first RNG heavy bosses, which is Crocomire. I believe every swipe that Crocomire does is about 1.5 seconds.
That sounds right. Oh.
So that super right there is pretty important because that one super actually sort of acts as 2 projectiles. So Crocomire so basically, each charge shot is gonna make Crocomire back up 2 steps, and that super is gonna make Crocomire back up 3. And you actually need that extra step that you get from the 3 knockbacks in order to knock Crocomire down. So, as in, like Crocomire will survive on the edge with like 1 missile, like 1 step left. So missing that super is a little bit costly. But then that was overall pretty good RNG for Timmon. We hear that he also got the wraparound shot.
Yeah, very nice. So he'll be able to just spark right across here. And it's kind of interesting. So Timmon used all but 1 super. Looks like Nikplayer held on to 2 supers. Optimally, if you knew you were going to get the best luck possible, you would use all your supers. But if you don't get at least 1 super drop from Crocomire, then you're missing a door. And that's pretty slow.
Now the runners are coming down to get grappled. These sequence of rooms are extremely fast and they're also tricky. So hopefully both runners can nail them cleanly. Starting off with short charge to get a nice
nicely done. I also really liked that strat Timon did in the Crocomire shaft, falling down, doing a moonfall into an unmorphed down back so that he never landed on any platforms.
Ooh. So that was a nice try, but this one's not so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nick does get it. Nikplayer does get it. We see from the footage, and but that was a very clean backup from Timon. First try short charge while killing the enemies on the way. That's That's probably harder than the standard Indiana Jones strat.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of runners start going for the speedy jump there into a wall jump just to preserve health over sparking. I'm not sure if it's faster as well because of the shine spark crash animation.
Mm. And nice grapple usage there. Well, usually your first grapple usage is the Indiana Jones strat, but Timmon, he got the first grapple usage was farming the enemies. So grapple beam can do a plethora of things like stunning enemies, picking up drops, and grabbing onto these anchor blocks, and as well as opening doors faster. In particular, the room coming up. Yeah, for example, this room, Tim is gonna use the grapple to collect the super. That's a very neat little something. Oh, and on Nikplayer's screen, we see an unfortunate animation. But he does recover.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but I think Nikplayer has maybe a 5 to 6 second lead at this point, so really close.
Yeah, judging by the animations, well, the frames on this screen plus their timer, Nick might be like 3 to 4 seconds ahead. hopefully the issue will be resolved and we get to see this nice synchronized race. Oh, and it seems like it is. Okay, so both runners nailing Alpha Spark. This room coming up though, one of the more tricky rooms specifically in early grapple. You need to do this upper red tower hero shot, or down grab, which I anticipate what the runners will be doing.
Oh,
close there for Timmon.
I think Nikplayer might have gotten it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, Red Tower is actually my favorite room in the whole route.
You're so brave, Ralph.
I really like the down grab at the top, and also the sort of YOLO jump at the bottom, where if you can get just enough run speed on the little ledge, then you can just run up and down grab rather than wall jumping.
That's so YOLO though. You mess it up and there's like no recovery. Meanwhile, Nikplayer entering this beta powerbombs room, he didn't get to kill the hopper, so that introduced some lag there. On the other hand, Simmons do a nice little shine spark. Killing these hoppers this is one of the first instances of lag reduction strats, which we'll be seeing a few more because when you use a power bomb, the game actually lags significantly. So you want to try to kill enemies that are on screen as well as enemies that move off screen. It's definitely a very neat optimization.
Sort of in a similar vein there, you saw both runners jump up there to lay the power bomb closer to the power bomb door. It's pretty close whether it's faster to just immediately lay the power bomb or lay the power bomb closer to the door, but the closer you lay it to sort of the spot that triggers the door opening, the faster the door will open. Or the sooner the door will open, I should say.
And both runners successfully making past moat. It's never a good feeling. Well, even if you have grapple beam, it's not hard to just mess up your input and fall into the moat. So good thing both runners made it past there, and they are heading into the by far the most random boss, which is Phantom. This could introduce a lot of deviations, a lot of variants.
Right, and neither runner has turned off Spazer yet, so both are planning on going for Dopplers. Great speedballs by both runners.
Oh, so actually we see Nick turn off his Spazer beam right here.
That's interesting.
Oh, and interesting. Okay, so yeah, Timmon also doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I know some people like to do it during Alpha Spark, but maybe the Spazer helps a little bit with Red Tower. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and there Timmon got a nice fast into a mid, and he's gonna clean it up. So that's a fast mid. Perfectly executed. While for Nikplayer, unfortunately the flames surrounding Fantu's eyes kind of blocked his shots, and the first round was less than optimal.
Yeah, he can finish it off here though.
Yeah, that was pretty generous patterns. Mid followed by a mid for the second and third round. So overall, pretty good fight for Nikplayer as well. But with that RNG, Timmon does take the lead. Now the runners will be
also has
navigating.
2 supers over Nikplayer. Nice deboost for Nikplayer.
That use is hard.
Yeah.
And now the runners will be navigating a sequence of light up wreck ship rooms, and all of these rooms are so hard. I can't stress more. Even the room that Nikplayer is going through right now, it looks very normalized, but there are a lot of queues that you need to be following around. And in particular, coming up for Timmon, one of the more treacherous rooms in the entire category, in fact. The room of death.
I think that wreck ship is the hardest segment before the very end of the game.
Yeah, the very end of the game is another beast, but wreck ship is not far behind. So very clean spiky room of death, followed by a very clean, whatever that room is called, that vertical shaft that Tim just went through. Moving smoothly through that room is so difficult, just because of how constrained this area sort of forces Samus's movement to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, Nikplayer didn't quite get the spiky room of death lineup he wanted to look like. Oh, that was a really cool bounce ball.
That bounce ball is I almost don't want to approve that bounce ball because it's so hard and so risky. But Nikplayer he's showing his skills. On the other hand, Timmon as God mentioned, Timmon had a very good spiky room of death on the way in, but on the way back it was not the best.
He's probably gonna need to pause, I think.
This health is. But let's check out this attic first. He's going for the.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god! That doesn't go any better. At least so that was a perfectly executed room for Timmon for the strats that he was going for. Absolutely incredible. Next is gonna opt for a different strat though. You see power bomb selected. I see. So he's gonna do the Shine Spark variance.
Yeah, normally, a lot of Hundo players will advise against doing Shine Spark Attic strat, but Nick's health is actually really good.
Yeah, Timmon definitely didn't have that Shine Spark strat in his arsenal just because of how low his health is. He needs to hold on to it. And this super shot. Okay, Timmon is taking a save. Super shot. That super block on the ground is really hard to hit. It's only one tile. One tile things in Super Metroid are very difficult.
Yeah, and it's one tile to hit while you're running down a slope.
Exactly. Oh, but Nikplayer going for a more baller strat where you shoot the block and jump into it, saving some frames. Oh, and I see Timmon might have been contemplating some things there. Looked like he was going for the shine spark, but then opted out of it. Decided to use grapple to conserve health, but it didn't exactly work out because we don't really practice this room with grapple. So we see about 100 difference in health between the two runners. So
if Timmon's reserve is full, he should be okay, but he will have to pause.
And since the runners don't have Spacer Beam, they won't be able to do the robot flush strat. But this strat is also pretty cool. You hop onto the first robot and use your wave beam to activate the second guy. Oh, but seems like the robots are in an unfavorable position for Nikplayer. I don't know if there can be some RNG to that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Timon really I think he used less than 10 energy on this spark by wall jumping up as far as he could first.
Yeah, that's great presence of mind.
Those wall jumps are pretty hard because it's really easy to wall jump check the spikes and take damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, neither runner skip getting a gravity skip, so we are good there. And they are not very far apart either, so it's a good race.
Absolutely.
And we do imagine Nikplayer will be, oh, nice strat getting into that tunnel there by Nikplayer. And I do imagine Nikplayer will be catching up a little bit just because of superior health prior to Bounded Spark. So I want to point out that sick moat bounce ball by Timmon. That's not easy. Nikplayer opting for Mock Ball, also a great strat. Okay, so we see Timmon doing the health conservation strat, jumping up to the platform to save some health.
So Timmon's just not going to pause at all here.
Yeah, if you have about 230-ish health, you're good to go. And Timmon is intentionally taking these rooms very safe. However, that allowed Nikplayer to basically catch back up. Incredible. Gosh, Nick just using his health lavishly with these damage boosts. And this wraparound shot is actually pixel perfect. Timmon got it, but Nikplayer is...
no. Okay, I'm not sure if he...
I don't know if he... Okay, he got it. Perfect. Yeah, that's one of the advantages of keeping Spacer, because Spacer actually makes that so much easier. Importantly, both runners managed to survive Bounded Spark, and neither runner getting the back Bounded Spark, so no time difference there. Okay, this room coming up for Commando could be a huge choke point. Okay, he takes the beginning part safely, but he was aggressive in the later half. Was cleanly executed. No! And
oh,
that can happen.
That's so hard to recover from.
Yeah. So Nikplayer was taking the beginning very safe by lining himself up with the visual cues very well. But when you do these turnarounds, if you don't turn around that quick, like if you just turn around to if you turn around to one direction and not turn around quickly enough, there's a good chance Samus will just kind of shift in that direction and miss the other sets of blocks. So that's if Nikplayer executes the backup very cleanly, that's about a 55 to a minute time loss, which is pretty costly since the runners are tied on screen. But he'll be coming back for that missile pack at the very end of the game. So we get to enjoy a close race until then.
Yeah, it feels so awful to do that. But I mean, especially in Nikplayer's mind, I'm sure he has to push himself as hard as he can if he wants to win this race.
Yeah, absolutely. But so far he's putting up a very good race, and ooh, and that accidental unmorph. I don't know if that was probably a ghost input on his end, falling down from the hole there. Now the runners are in Green Brinstar. Well, they're in Brinstar, and the entire Brinstar section is very fast and very fun. Very cool to see in 100%. Timmon's gonna attempt the Shine Spark here. Gonna lay a power bomb at a specific spot that's gonna break the left side blocks as well as open the right side the PB door. And pretty cool route coming up for Timmon. This is he's gonna attempt what's called Mission Impossible. Oh! It's a turnaround a little bit early and doesn't get the quick fall. Quick drop. So Nick can catch up a little bit here. So he's gonna do a buffered wall jump. Buffer jumping and wall jump. Very nice.
Nicely done.
That catches up Nick by a little bit.
Looks like Timmon is still doing the wave gate first. Some runners, if they fail Mission Impossible, will actually go and do the Spore Spawn Supers first and then come up to wave gate.
Yeah, probably Timmon just didn't want to mess with his muscle memory. Plus he gets to show us this cool D boost. Okay. Well, Nick's gonna show us the cool D boost. Very nice. That's a hard D boost to do because the hoppers are coming from off screen. And Timmon gets the pixel perfect super shot. So does Nick.
Nice. I really like the wall jump check on that super in particular because you have so much run speed that like you can grab the super when you're a tile away pretty much.
And during the fanfare you can actually see like there's a like a sometimes actually grabbing it from a remote position. But a slight hiccup from Timmon not being able to open that super missile door, but also runners to be virtually tied on screen. This is exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Nikplayer really needs Timmon to just keep making small mistakes, stuff like missing that Mission Impossible, you know, maybe having trouble in Fish Tank or Watering Hole. And those do add up over the course of the run. The issue and why, you know, I'm sure Nikplayer felt like he really had to push himself as hard as he could, even in that gauntlet, is that I think once you get into Meridia, especially, the difference between a 117 and a 119 Hundo runner really starts to shine.
Yeah. So Meridia, as Glove mentioned, Nikplayer is looking for Timmon to make these like small mistakes over time, and Meridia is known to have a bunch of the potentials to introduce a bunch of these small and big mistakes. It's one of the most punishing areas. Go through 100%. Oh, and Timmon gets a nice blockbuster.
Yeah, Nikplayer was just, I think he had a little bit too much run speed there. Kept him from getting the shot on the door off in time.
Okay, but that screwy D boost is proving to be more difficult than than Blockbuster, and I don't necessarily disagree. Somehow that screwy D boost is so tricky when you have high jump and speed. So one of the more difficult strats in all of 100%, one of the more required strats is coming up for Tim, and he gets it though.
Oh no!
Spoke too soon. So this is difficult short charge, a very difficult short charge. You grab this missile from an unintended position. And Nikplayer gets the frame protect jump. Oh, sorry, Timon gets the frame protect jump into fish tank. And okay, so we see a pretty substantial strat deviation. Timon is gonna wall jump up the right side wall and try to grapple that block and swing himself into the E-tank. Very nice. Okay, that was probably not too optimal in Timon's mind because that was a huge grapple swing. But okay, and with that, Nick somehow just takes the lead. That's a very cool attempt from Timon to save some time there.
Yeah, the sync is a little bit off, so I think Timon still has a bit of a lead, but if Nikplayer can keep saving just a couple seconds here and there, it does add up.
Yeah, it's not hard to lose massive amounts of time in Meridia with all the with the bosses in particular, as well as all the later rooms. Meridia has some of the most tricky rooms like Plasma, Cat Alley, Blue Bomber. That's two of the more RNG heavy bosses, Dragon and Baltoon. So Nikplayer is still definitely in this. And this area the runners are navigating through right now is Meridia Beach. The name makes it sound so innocuous, but gosh, this area.
Every single room here has a kind of difficult jump that culminates in what is, in my opinion, the most difficult mock ball in the entire game.
Yeah, the mock ball coming out from this watering hole is absolutely brutal, just due to how the screen scrolls. It's plus you're trying to get a fast mock ball onto a single tile, while Samus is more or less invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what the runners can do here. Nick is gonna not get the jump. Okay, well Timon got the jump, not the mock ball, but that's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to get the jump is already pretty good.
I say some people just main the jump. I also know some people will wait a little bit to hold dash, so they have slower run speed going through.
Yeah, such are the measures runners need to take to combat that single mock ball, which tells you something about its difficulty. And now the runners are coming to Baltoon, and hopefully we get a one round from both runners. Oh, different setups for the two. Nikplayer doing the D factor, Timon doing I believe he got that setup from Behemoth, the Behemoth setup to get the X factors. Very clean fight from both runners.
Mm-hmm.
And another major strat. Okay.
I think they should both be okay.
And indeed they are. Nicely done. Nicely done. Simultaneous full halfies on screen. Good day. They're not gonna forget about this precious missile before heading to Dragon. And this is
Getting that,
probably the most
just getting that precious missile fully optimally. There's some cool grapple stuff you can do there, but you have to be really good at item selecting.
yeah, the runners aren't exactly so the runners are already using the grapple beam a lot, but if you want to really milk the every single usage out of it, like you can be very creative. And this dragon fight, you're seeing different openers from the two runners. Oh, the opener didn't look too good for Nick.
Yeah.
And
I think people who don't do the rain dance are kind of a dying breed, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. The rain dance just feels so much more consistent, and that
it
was
feels that okay, that was a incredible save. I almost don't believe it. He had like a frame of he needed one extra frame of spark to kill Dragon, which is but all in all, pretty good fights from both runners. I think Timmon got the less favorable RNG, got a perfect fight. But while Nick didn't get the perfect fight, but I think he had pretty good RNG with patterns. So he didn't lose that much time. And both runners holding onto their blue suit so they can spark back Colosseum. Okay, nice grapple usage there by Timon to open the door. And we have a potential choke point coming up here. So this is okay. So also we see an interesting difference in the runner's timing as to when to pick up onto E tank. So two runners are gonna do this D boost into another D boost to get iframes. Okay, so Timon doesn't get the strat. Nikplayer does get it though.
nice.
Very nice, very nice. That strat is so much risk for so little time save.
It really is. So it's pretty easy to soft lock with that blue keep.
Yeah, since the way you do that is you want to be holding angle, one of your angle buttons, and you want to basically do an unmorph while holding forward. And if you somehow lose contact with your forward input during that like when you're doing the unmorph, Samus just loses blue, and while breaking the first set of speed blocks, not the second or third. And if you don't react fast enough, you can get basically trapped into a set of respawning speed blocks. It's not a good feeling. And here, this is the big reason why the runners picked up grapple beam, so that they can get past that tinker block and get to Shack Tool. Nicely executed by both runners. Getting into that one tile opening is trickier than it looks.
Mm-hmm.
And this is time to contemplate everything that's happened so far in your run. The Shack Tool downtime. A recent development in the community shows that you can speed up this cutscene somewhat by spamming your grapple beam, but that means you don't get to rest for this 30 to 40 seconds of downtime, and in return you get like 10 to 20 frames of time save. So it's up to the runner to decide if they want to do that.
I've also seen some people recently have been spamming a lot of their missiles, so they have more favorable GT patterns.
Yeah, right. A lot of recent developments in terms of strategies for 100%, which is no surprise when you have so many top runners all working so hard on the category.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a very exciting time to be following 100%.
Yeah, and it's just funny to see so many innovations happening in the room where you just sit around for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you actually have something to do there. Oh, very clean edge grab there by Nick. He actually used D-pad up to grab the platform. That's cool to see.
Oh, very nice.
And now the runners are coming to one of the more one of the more flashy and definitely one of the more punishing rooms in Meridia, which is the plasma area. Oh, jump doesn't quite make it there for Nick. So this room coming up, the runners will be laying a power bomb in the center of the screen. That basically triggers that deals some damage to the left side pirate on the wall, while triggering the right side pirate on the wall to be aggressive. So you see Nick attempting the. Okay, so this is getting out of hand for. Got kind of out of hand for Nick as well, but that was a very innovative down shot there from Nick.
Yeah, I'm amazed that worked.
I couldn't believe. I'm surprised he had confidence in the strat, like in the option.
Maybe he's familiar with that. I wonder if aiming down to scroll the camera also helped him to be able to kill that pirate.
Yeah, that was definitely a cool improvisation. And interesting, Nikplayer deciding to spend some extra time farming these cack attacks. He does have superior super count compared to Timmon, but maybe he wants to have more.
Yeah, generally in this category where we have plasma beam as well as all of the missiles, the supers generally equate to time. So it's kind of interesting to farm supers there. Unfortunately, Timon missed the blue bomber there.
Yeah, so that
really hard trick.
Definitely. Maybe
Nikplayer trying.
Nail it though.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. That was a little bit close too. Maybe if he was like 2 or 3 frames too late, he might have bonked the left side ceiling, but he nailed it. And that's harder than it looks. It's not just it looks like the runners are just doing a springboard jump and it's somehow magically breaking the blocks, but there's a lot of inputs involved in doing that maneuver.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, right now, Nikplayer does not look like a 119 runner. Even, regardless of who ends up winning this race, I think both of them still have quite a bit of potential for PBs.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick's been nailing some incredible strats here. And the last hard room in Meridia for Timon. Doesn't get the double D. I think Nikplayer's gonna let you do try to get the strat. Okay, so he got a very rare thing happen, which is he somehow got a space jump coming out of that sand fall, which is I've only ever seen it happen once before, so that's cool to see.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen.
Yeah, I don't know what's involved. I don't know what's involved in making it happen, but I'm glad we got to see something rare. Now the runners are coming back to Crazy Layer for revisit. They have this missile expansion on the right that is power bomb. There's a power bomb gated, so they can pick it up now. And Timmon not bothering with the speedball on the way back. It's a wise decision.
Yeah, that speedball's really tricky.
Yeah, absolutely. Very tricky for very minimal time save. Oh, a nice strat there by Nikplayer, using the power bomb to break open the blocks early and then doing a D-boost off of the Zila. So now the runners are doing a very brief upper north air cruise, grabbing Ice Beam and heading straight to lower north air. Oh, Timmon went for a excuse me, I went for a very tricky strat where you kill the first Sova and use the second Sova to do a deboost. That's actually really hard. An interesting strat there by Nikplayer. I guess he was probably trying to fire shot to kill the dude, but ended up laying up a PB.
Yeah, I don't think that clears any sound cues.
I don't think so either. Nice. Timmon getting the jump coming out of the door transition. You have so little time to time that jump, and if you fall, it can be pretty costly.
Alright, Nikplayer gets it as well. Nicely done.
Nicely done. Oh, and Timmon getting that jump to fix the door transition in the speed hallway. People make that look easy, but that's honestly really hard. So Nikplayer doing a more conservative strat, but as you can see, if you just do a standard space jump, it kind of misses up the door transition a little bit. So that was a great strat there by Timmon. Doesn't get the chronic boost, but nails the backup.
That chronic boost looked good for Nikplayer.
Oh, too far to the right.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Yeah, this deboost is not free. It's not just a deboost, but it's a deboost that involves precise positioning of Samus. So,
This blue fireball looks good.
Yeah,
Nicely done.
that's perfect. Textbook from Timmon. Oh, Nikplayer also following up. That's very cool, seeing two blue fireballs in the same. Oh, but the early bounce means he's going to have an acid dive, take an acid bath. Slightly unfortunate there.
Yeah. If you do fall into the acid and you're trying to spring ball up, it's really easy to get stuck in that little cubby where Nikplayer spent a second.
Yeah. It's like the devs are just like mocking at you for missing the fireball. Okay, nice opener for Timmon. Into the left side to fire preemptive shot to deal some damage to. Oh, and okay, interesting. You don't get to see that often. Okay, I don't know what exactly Timmon did to make that happen, but that was a nice little flying bird attack.
I think GT only does that, I think, when he's like really low on health.
I see. Yeah, so maybe Timmon was intentionally sparing GT, so waiting for GT to drop some eggs, so he could basically maybe like farm a few. Since his super count it is substantially lower than Nikplayer's super count, but I guess GT decided to spit eggs of a different kind. Oh, when bonking the door, so that can happen a lot if you bonk the door and try to jump and activate your Shine Spark. It's very easy to, since you're doing a standing jump at that point, it's very easy to whiff your Shine Spark.
Yeah, for that reason, I kind of like doing what Nikplayer did there and just sparking after going through the door transition.
Oh, nice mock ball there by Nikplayer. Always spooky. And Timmon entering this big room, and he gets a force space jump strat. You want to lower Samus's height gradually by incorporating these small space jumps in the middle. And nice, Nikplayer also getting a force space jump. Doing it with 4 is the minimal count we can do it with, but it's pretty hard.
And both runners killing the key hunters there reduces lag for that power bomb. And it's sort of doubly important because you laid 2 power bombs in that room.
Exactly. Another double strat. Double K goal. Let's see it, Tim. Okay, well, it gets 1. That's better than... 1 is better than none. And middle pirates. Runners will be setting up for a quick kill. Very nice.
Yeah, it was a little bit scary, but Timmon closed it out. And nice Plower House.
Oh, Nikplayer. I hope he nailed it. Okay,
he must have.
Oh, unfortunate. So really fight coming up for Timmon. Very low super count, but he is still opting to use many of his supers. So more or less, so every 3 supers a runner has here basically saves at least 1 second against Ridley. And we see Nikplayer just dumping more or less all of his supers on Ridley. And I think Ridley will be dead after this swoop. I mean, I think Ridley was already dead here, but Nikplayer got a little bit unlucky. Ridley just initiated another swoop.
And I think that was 4 supers for Timon.
Wow. That's really generous.
Yeah.
Nikplayer getting 3 is also pretty good. Gosh, runners would be so close if not for the Gauntlet missile. But I mean, both players are just executing. Let's see what strat the runners decide to use here. Okay, nice, Timmon. So Timmon fired a shot at the pirate to make him not do the spinning attack. And kind of. Oh. Okay, but this room is more important, so I'm gonna stop talking about that room. So this room, Wasteland. Nikplayer is doing the... Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff Nikplayer needs, especially at this stage of the game.
Yeah. Man. Very unfortunate for Timmon getting spiked down by that spike and having to recover. That actually allowed Nikplayer to gain a pretty big lead now on the screen. Basically, catch it right back up. Nice, and Nikplayer got the Fire Flea freeze into a buffer deboost. And he's going to land on the Fire Flea. Very nice. That was an advanced strat many years ago, but now everyone's doing it. People getting too good. And Tim also gets it.
Okay. Nicely done.
Oh, I see Nikplayer setting up for this. Okay, so
this might break the first one.
Right, I think his speed might be too high. Yeah.
The first one's the most important one to break, though. So, like, honestly, if I get that much, I'm pretty happy usually.
Yeah, right. As long as you break the first block, you aren't losing time. If you get the second blocks, you're happy though. The Nikplayer successfully opening that door. And then using grapple, and grapple unfortunately doesn't reach the door. That door is hard to open because it's due to how the screen scrolls. And the last room of Lower Norfair, very dangerous in any percent rounds, but in Hondo you just pierce through these key hunters.
Yeah, those shot blocks at the top of Three Musketeers can actually be a little bit annoying to break when you have plasma. Because if Samus is like right up against them when she fires her shot, it may not break all the blocks.
Yeah, I can't recount how many times I've broken all but the top layer of these 3 blocks. Happens all the time. Both runners getting Deep of the Faith, which is the name given to that D boost in Bubble Mountain, because if you fail it, you lose so much time. But the two runners apparently having no trouble. Oh, Timmon bonking the space jump coming to this room. It's a little bit unfortunate. Oh, okay. Nice power. Yeah, when you expect Samus to unmorph, but she doesn't, an accidental power bomb is usually the outcome.
Yeah, unfortunate Kago there for Nikplayer. We'll see if Timmon can nail this. This is my favorite strat in the run.
Gosh, this is so... Everything lines up so well for this strat. It's unreal. It looks like Nikplayer's timer is a little bit ahead, so they might still be really close. But with that Bubble Mountain, the runners are done with Norfair for good, and they're heading into the dreaded late game, which is revisiting all these early game areas, but with better movement items and harder strats.
I think our runners are almost exactly tied, if not for that gauntlet. The other really unfortunate thing about that gauntlet is Nikplayer's actually running on a really good PB pace right now. Obviously, some of that time gets eaten up by the item fanfare of grabbing Gauntlet Missile, but even still, I think he would be more than 20 seconds ahead of PB. So it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's what Gauntlet can do to the runners sometimes. Hate to see it happen in a race. But Nick is putting a good show though. He's showcasing off his skill here. Ooh, nice springboard jump into the hole there by Timmon. Oh, and Nikplayer bonks the door. It's such a trivial mistake, but since you're space jumping over such a long stretch of room, bonking that door is pretty costly. Right, and down with red Green Star for good, and runners coming back to green Green Star. Doesn't look like either runners setting up for reverse link, which is respectable. Gosh, they're so synced on screen.
Yeah.
Unreal. Okay, and now a sequence of super hard rooms. One of the earliest areas in the game that Samus visits, this retro Green Star area, is coincidentally one of the last areas you visit in Hondo, and coincidentally it's one of the hardest areas to move completely cleanly. Player doesn't get the space jump.
Yeah, it's just that combination of having every movement item in the game and also the geometry of these rooms is pretty complicated. Oh no.
Unfortunate. There for Nikplayer, just one tile, lay the PB one tile too far to the left. And since both runners are fairly low on super count, they won't be super in that volume boulder. Which is a good call. Don't want to deal with the boulders. This moonfall is tricky. Moonfalling into a one tile. I mean, all these one tile tricks are very precise. Nice speedball.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
Oh, and
And
Nikplayer following it up.
mhm. And you also notice that in Retro Bryn there to grab that one missile after the moonfall, both runners unmorphed to jump up to grab it. If you try to spring ball to grab those missiles, you'll just fly way into the air.
Yeah,
It's really annoying.
yeah. One of these mechanics of Super Metroid that you really need to speedrun the game in order to understand. Oh, but both runners getting that aggressive screw into that one tile opening. You can do a big jump to set to normalize that screw, but runners are aggressive. They're saving time. Okay, and grabs the
Yeah.
last super pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice for both runners. I feel like there's kind of two schools of thought when it comes to speedrunning, hundo, or really any other category. There's the idea that you should like do strats that are at your level and that you can be consistent with, um, which makes a lot of sense. But then some people also feel that if you incorporate strats before you're really ready to be consistent with them, you'll already be used to them by the time you sort of are ready. And I think both schools of thought
Mm.
have some really valid points. And it's all just sort of down to what you want from the game. And beautiful mock ball there for Timon.
This also looks good for Nikplayer. Also
Nicely
looking
done.
very nice.
In my opinion, that might be like the second hardest mock ball in the game.
Oh, I see. Oh, and okay, I almost forgot about this.
Oh yeah,
Nikplayer
I'm
does
glad
need
Nikplayer didn't forget about it.
right,
Oh,
because I absolutely did. So he needs to do this loop around Gauntlet. So this is okay. So he does know the back. He does seem to know the backup pretty well. So this is roughly 55 to a minute time
mm-hmm.
loss. Having screw attack and space jump actually helps a lot. Traversing through this area.
Yeah, I know Nikplayer has done some rando too, which could help with being more familiar with backups. Like that's one of the things that I've noticed about rando players when they're not that Nikplayer is a rando player, but like people who play a lot of rando, they're never going to be in a situation, even if they've never done the category before, they're never going to be in a situation where they're just completely lost in a room. They'll always be able to do something, even if it's not necessarily the most optimal.
That's a very interesting perspective, and that does make sense. They might be able to adapt to different situations better.
Mm-hmm.
The nature of the random. But then these rooms, though, coming up, you definitely need to know these rooms in advance. You don't want to not
Oh,
have a plan for these rooms. Hundo Metroid rooms. Gosh, oh my god, so
very
aggressive,
nicely done.
so clean. Double super.
Oh no!
Tried to be fancy. Well, I mean, Tim was being fancy, using grapple to grab the pops, but X-ray. I mean, that's the mandatory usage of X-ray in any Hundo run. You gotta use it
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. Otherwise, why do you pick it up?
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure Timon runs on original console, and those controllers, as they get older, it can be really easy to just get an extra input on whatever button your item select is.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like Timon's going for Stachio skip here. A fairly recent development, still less than a year old, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, but
Oh,
that opener just didn't seem to line up very well for him. Um, doesn't seems like he doesn't have Varias to off. Right, because the runners run early grapple and they decided to turn off their beam at Fantoon. They still have
mm-hmm.
Varias suit on, which makes this missing baby skip even more costly. Not having 10 supers means Timon needs to actually go refill and not like use a crystal flash to recover. Okay, so this is the kind of mistake that Nikplayer really needed.
Unfortunately, it's just too little, too late. I think.
Too late.
I mean, it's so easy to say, like, oh, if Nikplayer just hadn't missed that gauntlet missile, then he'd be ahead right now. But then by that same token, if Timon hadn't missed that baby skip, and you can just
Right.
keep going.
Yeah.
Very nice
Okay,
zip
very nice
skip.
pass on both screens. Nikplayer nailing baby skip while Timon getting the down back zip skip, which is probably the hardest way to do that zip skip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sneaking in a little extra efficiency by using grapple.
Oh, I actually didn't. I actually missed Nikplayer turning off screw attack. He's doing the. Okay, but it's the ring cut's not cooperating.
Yeah, I think this kills any hope of a PB, but I did look, and even with grabbing Gauntlet, Nikplayer was +7 entering G4, so that shows you just how good of a run he had.
And Timo needs to not forget and damage himself down. Nice. So yeah, for stand up. And here is another extremely recent development. So you see Timon aiming down and just stare into Mother Brain. He's going to do a jump into a turn around, and he got it. He got it. Very nice.
Oh wow!
So this is now termed the 2 price limit, where you basically force Mother Brain to crouch extremely fast. Basically immediately at a level even with pass. Apparently it's not too tricky either, due to all the brainstorming the top level runners as well as the testers did. So it's great job Tim for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like every time I hear somebody talk about 2 Cry, the frame window for getting it has already gone up again.
yeah. The trick just gets easier and easier every time people showcase it. So let's see if Nikplayer might also be okay. So Nikplayer is doing the standard maneuver where you space jump in the top right corner. You can tell whether you got it by looking at Sam and Mother Brain's head, whether it makes a very steep angle. Is your cue? And with that Mother Brain fight, Timon is now entering escape.
Yeah, we'll see if he decides to go for Blue Bomber here.
Oh, he is. And he
Nicely
hits
done.
it.
Yeah, misses the bonk on the door, but honestly, bonking that door is really difficult.
Right. If you can do the bonk on the door, Blue Bomber would actually save about a second. There it's saved about 0.3. But the point is, he went for it and he got it. So,
yeah.
awesome stuff.
It's a great trick.
Absolutely. Looking like a strong time will be 119 for Timon.
Yeah, just a couple minutes off PB is really impressive at the level where Timon is.
And
all right. Yep, with that, Taman has finished in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 8 seconds. GG.
GG, Timon. Nikplayer not far behind that, although considering he had a gauntlet mistake, which is unfortunate, happens to everyone from time to time. It's
Mm-hmm.
just one of these things that you don't doesn't take a whole lot to mess up, as in you don't need to make a sequence of missed inputs to mess it up. It just all it takes is one missed input for the trick to go wrong. So can blame anyone.
Yeah. And with that, unfortunately, Nikplayer will be making his exit from the tournament. Incredible showing, though, and I know we haven't seen the last of him. Meanwhile, Timon will be going on to face BR Joker in Losers Round 2. So that should be a really cool matchup.
Yeah, GG's to Timon and also GG's to Nikplayer. Definitely had a good showing for us commentators as well as viewers. Were keeping it really close on the screen, keeping it up with Timon for at least in the mid to late game, which is honestly incredible because Timon is a low 117 runner. So Nick was definitely playing very well.
Yeah. Looks like we should be getting our runners in for an interview shortly.
Yeah. Both runners probably have a lot of things to say about their run, I feel. Okay, but of course the category doesn't end until we see the 3-digit number on screen. Anything less is bad news.
It looks like our runners didn't receive an invite link. Hopefully we can get that sorted.
Idea force for Timon and the moment. And very nice. As to no one's surprise, 100% for Timon. So GG's.
GG.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get the runners in here and hear some thoughts. But
Yeah, we might not be able to. Oh my goodness. I forgot to mark them as done.
oh yeah, my apologies as well. And Nikplayer gets a suspense. 100%. Very
Nicely
nice.
done.
Nicely done. And we are joined by the winner of today's race, Timmon. GG's Timmon. Congrats on the win.
Hi, thank you. And I want
Well,
to wait if Nikplayer joins.
yeah. I don't know if you were watching the race. Watching the race, but it was a very competitive race.
So yeah, this is actually the first time where. Oh, but anyway, Nikplayer, hey, GG's.
GG's.
GG's Nikplayer.
Yeah, GG. Thank you.
So this is the first time actually I watched the race. I don't know. I completely like I had the stream open and I'm not sure if it was subconsciously or consciously that I just put a handicap, like the handbrake was turned on for my run, so we kept it close together all the time. I'm not sure what happened, but
I missed the right missile from the gauntlet.
Yeah,
I was so angry, because my PB was so very nice and I missed this stupid missile.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to say it. I told you the other day, don't do the YOLO shot.
I didn't.
Oh, you actually didn't. Okay, then my bad.
But I pressed too much left, and yeah, this happened. This happens.
Yeah. Apart from that miscounted missile, y'all were playing extremely even. I think like up until Torian, I think y'all have been tied basically heading to Torian, like more or less, if not for the missed missile grab. So unfortunately there, but I mean really, Nikplayer, apart from the missile, you played really golden, I feel, and you massively ahead of PV as well, from what I understood.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was very nice race. That was my second 120, and I'm very happy about that. But
congratulations.
This tourney was giving me very more practicing for this handle races, and I'm much better now. I think with the when I was beginning the tourney, my PB was I think 121.50, and now 190 47, and that's because of the tournament. Practice, and yeah.
That's good to hear. The tournament is definitely driving many people's times very down, very much. In fact, I was I checked some of your past runs, and I was wondering whether we were gonna see a PB from you in the race, just because of how consistently ahead of your PB you've been playing as of late. And you definitely didn't disappoint. It's a great showing. A lot of cool tricks that y'all both nailed.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was great to see. So GG's on the run, Nikplayer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it likely would have been a PB without that gauntlet missile, right?
Yeah. Sure. That's I'm 100% sure. Yes, that will be PB. Even if I missed the Zep skip. But yeah.
It happens.
It
happens.
It was what it is. Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah, right. I'm sure if you're gonna like run this category a few more times, so like you can even like aim for like a 118 is even inside for you. It's completely within reach. So hopefully, hope to see you keep going, even though your tourney run is over, because this is great momentum you have and great consistency. So definitely wish you luck in that regard.
Yeah, thank you very much. This tourney was very fun, and yeah, I hope I see guys in the next tourney.
Yeah, hope to catch you again,
Mhm.
Nick Nikplayer, for sure. Tim, do you have any comments, any thoughts on the run?
I mostly summed it up pretty much. That I think it was just a very good race. Like it was a very interesting race. I'm excited to watch it back. I'm really not pleased with my performance personally, but that's okay. But yeah, for the next rounds, I need to step up my game in tourney race a little bit. Usually, I have issues with like tourney races and performing in those. So yeah, hopefully that gets better.
Yeah. Well, speaking of your next race with this, you will be moving on to face BR Joker. How are you feeling about that matchup?
I'm very excited for it. Been watching Joker a lot lately and kind of have like he definitely can 117 and we're pretty
Mhm.
similar. He's very consistent in like getting 118s, so I'm very excited for that race for sure, and I hope I can get a bit better performance, like I said.
Yeah,
Awesome.
good luck. Awesome. Good luck on that
Hmm.
as well.
Yeah.
But
Well,
thank you both for commentating.
yeah,
Yeah, thank
absolutely.
you.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Well, thank you y'all for putting up a good show and
Hmm.
a good race. And definitely wish y'all wish you guys both great luck with your future SM endeavors.
Thank you.
Yeah. As yeah, I absolutely agree with Sisraim. Nikplayer, best of luck with your future SM endeavors, whether you choose to stick with Hundo or category hop a bit. Timon, good luck next round against BR Joker. And with that, that is going to be doing it from us here at Speed Gaming. Be sure to go follow both of these runners who just put on an amazing show. Go follow Timon, go follow Nikplayer, and if you would be so kind, follow the broadcast team as well. I've been Golov, joined by Sasraim, and from all of us here at Speed Gaming, we'll see you next mission.
See you next mission.